Hi, my name is Michael, and welcome to Travel Plan. Today, we are visiting Place de Vosges. Now, as you can tell, I'm standing in front of the Louvre. I'm here because this is probably the best place to start our walk as it's centrally located and well known. Now, if all you want to see is Place de Vosges, that's fine. It's about a 38-minute walk from here, and the distance covered will be about 2.8 kilometers or 1.7 miles. However, if you're like me and you want to see as many sites as possible, I've organized a walk that'll include an additional 6 sites before we get to Place de Vosges. Those sites include the Hôtel de Ville, the Pompidou Center, the Jardin des Archives Nationales, the Musée National Picasso, the Musée Carnavalet, the Hôtel de Sully, and we wind up at the Place de Vosges. So, since we're stopping a few more times, it's actually going to take a little bit over an hour, and you're looking at about 4.8 kilometers or about 3 miles in distance. But it's well worth it. Also keep in mind that the times I'm giving you are only for the walk and don't include how much time you spend at the site. So, let's go see the Hôtel de Ville. As you exit the Louvre, make a right on Rue de Rivoli. The walk along Rue de Rivoli will take up the entirety of the 22-minute walk to the Hôtel de Ville. All right, we're about halfway to the Hôtel de Ville. We're in front of the Samaritan, so let's keep walking. Once you arrive at Place de Hôtel de Ville, the Hôtel de Ville is on your right. Okay, so we're here at the Hôtel de Ville. This has been the seat of the Paris City Council since 1357. However, this building wasn't constructed till the 16th century by Francis I, who thought that the City Council needed a proper home. It's a great example of Neo-Renaissance architecture. Another interesting fact is that this courtyard, during the 14th century, was used for public executions. People would come from all around town to this square to watch people get killed. That was entertainment. That pattern continued during the French Revolution. But at that time, they actually set up a guillotine here. Now, today, the Hôtel de Ville, it houses the City Council as well as the Office of the Mayor. The Hôtel de Ville is one of the largest city halls in the world with over 1,000 rooms. These include massive salons, conference rooms, libraries, and even hidden offices that are off limits to the public. In addition, there are 136 statues on the facade of the building, representing important figures in Parisian history, including Voltaire and Marais. Many people don't realize that the sculptures aren't just decorative, they're a tribute to Paris's cultural and intellectual legacy. Inside the Hôtel de Ville, there is a lavish ballroom designed as a mini version of the famous Hall of Mirrors at Versailles. It's adorned with chandeliers, gold leaf detailing, and elaborate frescoes, making it one of the most luxurious rooms in Paris. Every winter, the plaza in front of the Hôtel de Ville transforms into a magical ice skating rink free for the public. With a stunning illuminated facade as a backdrop, it's one of the most picturesque winter experiences in Paris. The Hôtel de Ville is open Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., but be sure to book in advance online. It's closed Sunday and public holidays. Okay, I hope you enjoyed your walk around the Hôtel de Ville. Our next stop is the Centre Pompidou. It's about a 3 to 5 minute walk from here. As you leave the Hôtel de Ville, you cross Rue de Rivoli and continue along Rue de Renard. Once you reach Rue Saint-Marais, make a left. The entrance to the museum will be on your right-hand side. Okay, we're at the Centre Pompidou. So this museum was built in 1977, and it has a unique design that turns the building inside out. Now, on the other side, it's a little more prominent and you can see all the pipes and ducts, but they're all color-coded per functionality. So you have the blue ones for air conditioning, you have the green ones for plumbing, the yellow for electrical, and the red are for circulation. Now, at first glance, the building looks a little odd because it doesn't fit in kind of with the whole Paris architecture. You know, some people don't think that it's as nice, but after a while, it grows on you. And more importantly, it houses the second largest collection in the world of modern art. So you'll find such artists as Dali, Kandinsky, Warhol, Matisse, and Picasso. It's a thrill to walk through these galleries and see all these artists.
When it first opened, many Parisians hated the Pompidou's futuristic design and nicknamed it the Monster of the Beaubourg. But today, it's one of the most visited attractions in Paris, with over 3 million visitors per year. The famous exterior escalator is more than just a cool design. It's one of the longest continuous escalators in Europe, stretching up 6 floors to the Art Museum and panoramic terrace. The building's transparent glass panels aren't just for aesthetics. They allow natural light to flood in. But here's the surprising part. Each single panel weighs over 15 tons. Just next to the Center Pompidou, the Stravinsky Fountain is filled with quirky, colorful moving sculptures designed by Jean Tinguely and Niki de Saint-Paul. The fountain is inspired by the music of Russian composer Igor Stravinsky. Center Pompidou is open every day except on Tuesday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's closed on May 1st and closes early, 7 p.m. on December 24th and December 31st. Tickets are 18 euros and you're encouraged to buy them online.
I hope you enjoyed the Center Pompidou. Our next stop is the Jardin des Archives Nationaux. It's about a 10-minute walk from here.
As you exit the Center Pompidou, make a right on Rue Rambuteau. As you walk down Rue Rambuteau, but before you arrive at the Jardin des Archives Nationaux, the street will change names to Rue de Franck Bourgeois at Rue des Archives. The entrance to the Jardin des Archives Nationaux will be on your left.
Okay, we're here at the Jardin des Archives Nationaux. So behind me is the Hôtel de Sully. It houses the National Archives of France. It's truly an amazing collection, well worth your time to go in. However, that's not the reason you come here. So, as you cross this courtyard, before you get to the Sully, on the right-hand side, my left, is a small entrance, which is actually an alley, one of the oldest in Paris. It leads to a collection of 4 gardens, which are some of the most amazing you will see in Paris. So, truly take your time and enjoy it.
The garden is designed in a traditional French style, with geometric lawns, manicured hedges, fountains, and tree-lined walkways. It's a smaller, more intimate version of famous Parisian gardens like the Palais of Versailles. If you look closely at the wall surrounding the garden, you'll find hidden engravings and historical emblems related to the National Archives and French history. Some date back to the 17th and 18th century. The Archives Nationaux house some of the oldest and most important documents in France, dating back to the 19th century. They contain royal decrees, medieval manuscripts, revolutionary documents, and modern government records. One of the most prized documents in the collection is the original 1789 Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen, one of the most important human rights declarations in history. The National Archives contain the official trial documents of Marie Antoinette, including transcripts of her interrogation before her execution in 1793. The Edict of Nantes, which granted religious freedom to Protestants, and its revocation in 1685 are both preserved in the archives. Those documents shape the religious history of France. The National Archives are open Monday to Sunday, closed Tuesdays, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. weekdays, 2 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. weekends. Admission is free.
I hope you enjoyed your time in the gardens. Our next stop is the Musée National Picasso. It's about a 5-minute walk from here.
As you exit the Jardin des Archives Nationaux, make a left on Rue de Franck Bourgeois. When you arrive at Rue Vial du Temple, make a left. When you arrive at Rue de la Perle, make a right. At Rue de Thorny, make a left. The entrance to the Picasso Museum will be on your left.
Okay, we're at the Museum Picasso. So this art gallery is dedicated to the works of Picasso. One interesting thing about it is that the actual building itself was built by a tax collector who got rich collecting taxes known as the gabelle or the salt tax. That's how the house got its name, the House Salé. In here, you'll find 5,000 works of Picasso spanning all mediums. In addition, the collection is complemented by Picasso's own personal collection of his contemporary artists such as Renoir, Cézanne, Matisse, and Degas.
The Marais district, where the museum is located, is one of Paris's oldest neighborhoods, dating back to the Middle Ages. Picasso lived in Montmartre and later Saint-Germain-des-Prés, but he was always fascinated by the historic charm of the Marais. During the museum's 2014 renovation, architects preserved the historic 17th century decor while adding modern glass walls, minimalist lighting, and open exhibition spaces. The result? A unique blend of old-world grandeur and contemporary museum design. The Hôtel Salle, where the museum is housed, is considered one of the most beautiful private mansions in Paris. Built in 1659, it features sculpted stone facades, large windows, intricate cornices, and a grand courtyard, a perfect example of French Baroque architecture. One of the museum's most Instagram-worthy spots is the Grand Spiral Staircase, a masterpiece of 17th century Baroque architecture. The stairwell, combined with the modern art, creates a striking contrast that's perfect for photography. The museum is open Tuesday through Sunday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's closed Mondays, January 1st, May 1st, and December 25th. Tickets are €16. There is a ticket office on site, but lines tend to get long, so I recommend you buy your tickets online.
I hope you had a chance to enjoy the Musée Picasso. Our next stop is the Musée Carnavalet, which is about 5 minutes from here.
As you exit the Musée Picasso, make a right on Rue de Thorny. Make a slight left as the street changes names to Place de Thorny and continue along Rue de Parc Royal. When you arrive at Rue de Savigny, make a right. The entrance to the Musée Carnavalet will be on your right.
Okay, we're at the Musée Carnavalet. I'm actually on the south side of the museum, so you can have a little bit of a look inside. Now, this is the most Parisian of all the museums in Paris. And you might ask me, why is that? It's because it houses the history of Paris from its origin to the present day. So, once you go in, I would recommend you start on the second floor European, third floor American, because that's where the French Revolution exhibit is, but it's also easier just to walk down. Other great exhibits include the Gallery of Signs, which has street signs from the history of Paris. There's the Madame de Savigny room. You can see letters and a portrait of her. But don't miss the Renaissance courtyards, specifically the central courtyard that has a pre-revolutionary bronze sculpture of Louis XIV. Amazing. It's a museum worth visiting.
The museum is located in two interconnected hotel particulars, otherwise known as private mansions. The first, Hôtel Carnavalet, was built in 1548. The second, Hôtel Le Pelletier de Saint-Fargeau, was added in 1989. Both buildings are perfect examples of classical French architecture, featuring Renaissance courtyards, grand staircases, and ornate facades. Inside the museum, you'll find an ornate ballroom with painted ceilings, crystal chandeliers, and gilded decor. This wasn't originally part of the museum. It was taken from a demolished 19th century Parisian mansion and reassembled here. Unlike most museums, some rooms at the Musée Carnavalet are entirely intact from the 18th century with their original furniture, paintings, and decor. Walking through them feels like stepping back in time. Few visitors realize that the museum has a stunning hidden garden open to the public, surrounded by a historic stone facade and flowers. It's one of the most peaceful spots in Paris. The museum is open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. It's closed Mondays, as well as January 1st, May 1st, and December 25th. The permit collection is free of charge and no bookings are required.
I hope you enjoyed your time at the Musée Carnavalet. Our next stop is the Hôtel de Sully. It's about 3 to 5 minutes from here.
As you exit the Musée Carnavalet, make a right on Rue de Savigny. At Rue de Franc Bourgeois, make a left. When you arrive at Rue de Turenne, make a right. At Rue Saint-Antoine, make a left, and the entrance to the Hôtel de Sully will be on your left.
Here we are, Hôtel de Sully. Now, this hotel gets its name from the Duke of Sully. He was the finance minister to Henry IV. The mansion is considered a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. It's built around a courtyard that has a south-facing facade with stone reliefs and sculptures that depict the life of Henry IV and the Duke of Sully. Inside the Hôtel de Sully, you'll find sculptures and frescoes that exemplify the art of the Renaissance.
Despite being one of the busiest districts of Paris, the Hôtel de Sully's gardens remain peaceful and rarely crowded. It's a perfect spot to sit, relax, and escape the city's noise. The courtyard and garden follow the symmetrical, geometric design typical of French formal gardens. Neatly trimmed hedges, elegant fountain, and pathways make this a hidden green oasis in the Marais. The facade and entrance display early Baroque ornamentation, a style that was just beginning to influence French architecture in the early 1600s. The use of grand arches, decorative stonework, and sculpted reliefs set the stage for later architectural masterpieces like Versailles. If you look closely at the exterior, you'll find stone carvings of gods, goddesses, and allegorical figures. The sculptures symbolize the four seasons, a reference to the beauty of nature and the changing times. While tourists can explore the courtyard and garden, the interior rooms of the Hôtel de Sully remain closed. However, historic photos reveal ornate wooden paneling, intricate ceiling frescoes, and elaborate fireplaces that once adorned the grand salons. The courtyard is open every day, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. The library, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. It's closed Monday, and admission is €13.
I hope you enjoyed the Hôtel de Sully. We're next going to Place de Vosges. It's only 2 minutes, right through those gates.
To reach Place de Vosges, walk through this doorway located at the rear of the Jardin de Hôtel de Sully.
Okay, we made it to Place de Vosges. It is considered one of Europe's most beautiful squares. The square is perfectly symmetrical, except for two exceptions to that geometry. We have the King's Pavilion behind me on the south and the Queen's Pavilion on the north, which are each 1 story taller than everything else.
When it was first built, the square was named Place Royale because it was a fashionable meeting place for aristocrats. It was later renamed Place de Vosges in 1799 to honor the Vosges region, which was the first to pay taxes to support the French Republic. Before Place de Vosges, Paris's streets were narrow and chaotic, with buildings of different heights and styles. This square was a pioneering example of planned architecture. Place de Vosges was so ahead of its time that it became a model for other squares in Europe, including Covent Garden in London and Plaza Mayor in Madrid. The covered walkways or arcades that surround the square were a brand new idea when the square was built. They provided sheltered shopping areas, allowing noblemen and merchants to walk and do business without being exposed to the weather. Today, the covered arcades are home to art galleries, antique shops, luxury boutiques, and cafes. The famous writer Victor Hugo of Les Miserables and The Hunchback of Notre Dame lived at number 6 Place de Vosges from 1832 to 1848. His home is now a museum showcasing his life, personal belongings, and original manuscripts. The buildings around Place de Vosges have steep slat roofs with dormer windows, a style that became a defining feature of Parisian architecture in the following centuries. You'll see similar roofs all over Paris, from Montmartre to the Latin Quarter. The square is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The Victor Hugo Museum is open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Tuesday through Sunday. It's closed on Mondays and May 1st. Admission is free. Shops are open during regular business hours, but you should call ahead.
So, thank you, and I hope you subscribe and like the video.